Many people ask me, what are you wearing? You're wearing your bed sheets or something? Actually, I'm wearing my Sudanese national traditional dress. You have a song here. It says that sunshine on my shoulder make me happy. Because we have so much sun in Sudan, sunshine on our shoulder doesn't make us happy. So we have to kind of protect ourselves from the sun, otherwise we become so black like this. And this is what we wear basically in my country. And as you see, it have a wide hand for circulation. Air goes in and come out. And also, it kind of, I don't know if you saw, I have pocket in the back. See, I have pocket in the back and pocket in the front. You know why? Because I'm going to ask you for a donation after this. No, actually, their electricity kind of is unpredictable. So basically, in some places, you had a dress like this. If it is dark, you just put it on, and it is right. So the front is the back, and the back is the front, and it's the same. So don't worry, I'm not going to ask you for a donation. Another thing, this turban, many people say, are you Indian? No, but I don't want to frighten you, but this is actually my shroud. If I die, this is how I'm going to be wrapped in. Are you frightened? Oh, that's nice. It's interesting because in Sudan, it's a big country, it's 1 million square mile, or used to be a big country, now it is 2 countries. So the 1 million square mile, basically, you don't find material everywhere you go. So you basically take your coffin and your head and you walk around. And when you die, they just wrap you into this and put you in a hole. Not in Jackson Hole, but they put you in a hole. So if you think, when you saw me, you think this is a religious, quote-unquote, attire, no, it is not religious. Actually, I'm far away from being religion. I'm almost drunk now because I drank a lot. My family are religious. My family in Sudan are very religious. But I kind of look at myself and say I am kind of more of a spiritual being, spiritualist, if you wish. Kind of an observer. I observe reality. What is reality for me? I travel a lot, as some of you may know, and I travel specifically to the birthplaces of the founder of major religions. I went to India. I went to Nepal for Buddha. I went to the Middle East to see birthplace of Prophet Muhammad as well as the place of Jesus. And as I traveled, I kind of was amazed. These people, some of them came from a very humble background. Like you go to Nepal and you see the place of Buddha was born under a tree, literally under a tree. And you talk about Jesus, he was born in a stable. But these individuals have affected the world in an amazing way. You go to the Vatican. I went there. I was mesmerized by the statues and the glory and the magnificency of the buildings. So I kind of, after I traveled for some time, I thought maybe I should study religion. Don't worry, I'm not a religious person still. I said I will study religion. So I went to a seminary. I'm born as a Muslim. And it's very, very kind of strange for a Muslim to go to a seminary. So I went to a seminary, I said. I'm not wearing my turban, I just went, otherwise they would kick me out. So I went to the seminary, and I kind of find that, to put it short, Adam and Eve, or the origin of humanity, as some people think, they were not asked to go to a mosque or a church or a temple. They were just put in a garden and told, just be fruitful, multiply, and have dominion. Kind of. They were not asked to go anywhere. Why do we go to church? Why do we go to mosque? Why do we go to everywhere? So it doesn't mean that I don't go. Actually, I go to all these places, honestly speaking. And I found comfort in some of the places I go to. But my observations, again, tell me that I was in a womb, right? All of us came from a womb, right? We live in a water, right? Hello? Yes. We live in a water for 9 months, right? I lived there in the water for 9 months. I don't remember much of it about it, but I tried actually to go back into the womb and see what is it for a baby to look like. What if there is a twin in the womb, and one came out and the other stayed? What do you think the one who stayed will say about the one who came out? Where did he go? Don't you think so? Oh, what happened? Where is he? The one in the womb will think that this is the whole world. This is the world for them, right? But the guy who went out knows that there is this reality, which is amazing reality. Look at the mountains, the snow, the trees, the human beings. It's incredible life here to encounter every minute, every day, every second. So we come into this world, we live this life, and again, we pop out. We change residence, right? We all gonna die. What is this guy talking about death here now? No, I mean, it is a temporary thing. We will go. I don't know where we're gonna go, somewhere, but we change address. Just like we change the address in the womb. We came to here, we have our addresses, we change our address sometimes and go to somewhere else. So what is this life about for me as a human being? What is life is about? Of course, I want to be happy. Anybody who doesn't want to be happy? We all want to be happy. And I have tried knowledge, study. You try power. You try money. You try fame. And then at the end of the day, you come to a room. When I came here and I saw the room there, I said, oh my God, there is something missing here. You know what is missing? My wife. I mean, you cannot, but you see, I'm drunk. I'm almost going to fall down. I hope I'm not boring you. I'm coming to the point, but that's going to be at midnight. So, where do you learn? What does make us tick? What is that which is we're all looking for? Many people say, okay, all these things which I mentioned, but for me, what is important is love. You could define it in any way you define it. For me, love is more important. Then, where is a school I could go and learn about love? Where is that school? I believe, or I experience, that school is the family. In the family, we learn relationship. We learn about love. We learn how to relate to each other. I kind of identified 4 kinds of love in the family. There's the love between the parents and the children, love between siblings, love between husband and wife, love of the children to their elders or parents, And each one of these, there's an incredible amount of depths we need to go into it to feel it, to know it, to touch it. Any one of us didn't come from a family? Anybody here? We all came from a family. In the family is so important for me and for us back in the place where I came from. By the way, I live here now. I live in America. My wife, actually, this is a good thing to speak about my wife now. My wife is born in England. Those who knows England actually, or British, or the Great Empire, colonized my country. And when she was 3 years old, she went to Australia, where they send the criminals. Down under, they call it. And my wife, when she flew to America, here, her mother told her, I hope you could find a husband who's tall, dark, but she didn't say handsome. And she found me, and we met. Was that an easy thing? She is, first of all, white. I am black. She's Christian. I'm coming from a Muslim background. Her culture is different. And most important, she is a woman and I am a man. And that's the biggest difference in the world. How do you harmonize these things? This is a life experience. How do you harmonize these few things? We're still working on it, believe me. I'm married for about, you want to know how long? That's a secret. You have to pay for that. No, I've been married since 1980, and I'm still working on relationship. Anybody resonate with that? Good. At least I have 2 people who resonate with me. 3. Hello? It's 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, good. We all have things to work out. And for me, that is what life is all about, is to work on ourselves. If we don't work on ourselves, whatever we produce, we may not be satisfied with until we are fully satisfied with ourselves. We produce 5 beautiful children, 3 boys, 2 girls. They look like chocolate. You just want to eat them up. Beautiful children. I'm proud of them. 2 girls and 3 boys. And it's fascinating also when you have somebody, you bring somebody into this world or be responsible of another person. What kind of a relationship is that? What do you make out of that? My wife, bless her heart, we have some couple she's from a white culture, and she saw a couple who are 2 from a black culture, from South Africa, basically. They don't have children. They cannot have children. She said to me, Taj, what do you think of making a child for them? I said, what? She said, let us make a child for them. I mean, I was mesmerized by her kind of insight, because she said to me, it is good that if they can't have a child, we give them a child. And when we give them a child, it is not our child, it is their child. What did we do to have a child? Why do we have a child and they don't have a child? We should give them a child. I said to her, okay, I'm ready. So when can we do that? So, I mean, think about it. Think about it. This is a great woman, isn't she? To think like that. Say, okay, let's get, okay, say, okay, I'm with you. And we have a child. And she said to me, and this is she who is carrying this baby in her womb for, quote unquote, 9 months. She said, the moment the baby is born in the hospital, he no longer belonged to me. I want actually the mother to receive it. I deliver all my children, and that's an amazing experience. Did everybody did that? Hello? No? If you didn't do it, you better do it. If you didn't do it for yourself, do it for your brother or for a husband. It's an amazing experience. Are you disgusting about it? It's life coming out of life. It's an amazing thing to see a baby coming out. It's just fascinating. Okay, I won't go into that. But we gave the baby, and the baby grew, and now he's a very good guy. Just graduated in honor from Harvard University last year. Beautiful son, tall, dark, and handsome. And but my wife didn't let me go. A few years after that, she came to me and said to me, Taj, I know this couple who also cannot have a baby. I said to her, but we did it. No, wait a minute. These are a Jewish couple, a Jewish father, and a mother is Christian. And you know there's always a tension, and you are a Muslim coming from Islamic background. What do you think we could give them a baby? I said to her, are you out of your mind? What do you mean giving them a baby? She said, same thing. Oh, same thing. Okay, I'm ready. We'll go for it. We went, we gave them a baby, and it's changed their life. Why I'm going through all this? I'm going through all this because family is important. We learn everything, or most of the thing, in our life. Our roots are being shaped in some way in our families. Have you ever heard somebody say, oh, you look like your mother. Oh, you look like your father. Yeah, and the trait also we inherit from our parents, we inherit from there, and nobody could deny that. We affect each other, and we need family. Without family, where are we going to go? Anyhow, if we need to learn love, in my opinion, my humble opinion, we have to learn it in school, and I believe the family is a school of love. And the family is important because, after all, that family expand and become the community, the society, the nation, the world we live in. We are all family in the end. We are all one family, have the same aspiration, similar, let me say, but we all want to be happy, and the world is not happy. But let me just mention this issue about love. What is love? Oh, I fell in love. What an amazing experience. People fell in love. Of course we fell in love, but ultimately love is about giving. Love is about investment. Love is about the other before me. Love about what can I do to the other. Love about serving. Love about being kind. About stretching oneself in spite of the difficulty to go to the other. Love about changing the diaper 200,000 times and not counting that. Love is about waking up in the middle of the night because your child is sick. Love is about reaching out to somebody who have nothing and give them. In the 80s, I made all the money I want to make in the world. I said, I don't want more money. I want to serve people. I want to love people. I want to care about people. And that is why I went to this NGO things, non-governmental organization. As some of you may know, the term non-governmental organization is coming fundamentally from the United Nations when they signed the charter, and there was a government, and then they didn't know what to do with the other who were there. They called them non-governmental organization. And basically, the non-governmental organization sector kind of started with different names. Some people call it charity, or non-governmental organization, not-for-profit here in America. But fundamentally, the non-governmental organization becoming, my own, becoming an amazing phenomena, especially in the past 30 years, or in particularly in the past 20 years. Incredible increase for the numbers and the importance and the relevance of the NGO in the world. Not only that, but people have observed that the non-governmental organizations are doing things which government cannot do, or stop to do, or not easy for them to do. Not because the government is weaker and the NGO are greater, but because most of the non-governmental organizations are people just like you and I who saw a need in the local level or a national level or international level, and out of commitment of their heart to give, they want to do that. They are not looking for anything. I'm not idealizing them. I'll talk about the wrong thing about the NGO later, but that's the motivation of the NGO. They want to do good, and they want to bridge the gap which is left by either the business community or by the government, or even by religion sometimes, or religious institutions. So in areas of need like Bangladesh, as you see here, the NGO could help people to read and write and be literate more than governments. We all heard about Haiti and the tsunami, Japan. Who jumped first there? The government always go and start calculating and seeing, is this right, is this wrong? The NGO pack up and go. Good for them, right? Is this working? Oh. I should point it up, down, up, good. So the worldwide NGO deliver, at some statistic, more than the entire UN system. Actually, 70% of the work of the United Nations is basically done through NGOs. In the US, also nonprofit sectors account for more than half of the hospital beds, half of the colleges and universities, and most of the social services, and almost all of the cultural activities are run by non-profit entities. And non-profit entities also are not related to the government. Of course, people, when they hear about non-profit, they think always about food. But it's not only food. They are in every area. You name it, they are there. And the number is increasing. Nobody knows actually how many are the NGOs in the world. Nobody knows. There is no clear statistics. There is just estimation. In India alone, there is about 1 million NGOs. The closest things you could hear right is that there is about 5 million NGOs active, and many other millions inactive NGOs in all areas. You name it, they are there. Not only feeding the hungry. And they are strong in their accomplishment because they don't need much. They don't have bureaucracy. They have the pulse of the community. They know what is going on there. They are flexible. They don't go through too much of routine. They are cost-effective. And also, they work beyond all borders of religion, nationality, or ethnicity, or others. In the area of trust, they are well trusted, more than governments, business, or the media. In Europe, in particularly, they are more trusted for certain issues, human rights, environment, and health. They are more trusted also than government, corporations, and the media. Please bear with me. It is about giving. They give. The NGOs I work with, or I know, or some of you may know, they are about giving. They are not about taking. They have their weakness. They don't have enough money to give. They look for money, especially at this time of difficulties, financial difficulties. They are not as professional as you expect them to be. Also, there is no entity you go to and you say, here are the NGOs, all of them. And that was one of the reasons why this WANGO is being formed at the United Nations from NGOs related to the UN. Speaking about the UN, there are about 5,000 NGOs in the UN. Some of them, half of them in a consultative status with the ECOSOC, Economic and Social Council, and half of them with the DPI, which is Department of Public Information. Are they all good? All the NGOs are good? No, they're not. Again, like anything else, there's the good and the bad and the ugly. I want to share with you some of the interesting thing about them, pretenders, we call them. There is a Bringo NGO. Have you ever heard Bringo NGO? They call it a briefcase NGO. One person with a briefcase will consider himself an NGO. Have you ever met a Bringo? How about the Congo? A Congo NGO. A Congo is a commercial NGO. They are actually into business, not into serving others. How about the Gringo? The Gringo is your NGO made by criminals. Really, literally. Criminal people have an NGO. It's called criminal. How about the Fango? This is a fake NGO. It's just on paper. It is an NGO, but it's not an NGO. And then Gongo NGOs. The government-owned NGOs. You have the Mango NGOs. Those are the mafia NGOs. You have the Fango NGOs. Those are the, they call them phantom NGOs. They are Karzai, the president of Afghanistan. He said Afghanistan was invaded by three times. One by the communists, and one by the West, and one time by the NGOs. And many of them are phantom NGOs. They just go there and take the money and run away. How about the Bongo NGOs? Are you familiar with that? Politicians NGOs. There are many of them. Again, the reality is we are human beings. We do good, we do bad, we do ugly. And whatever we do is reflected where we are. If we coming from a good place, then what would come out would be a good. For the NGO, we try to do something called the Code of Ethics and Conduct to govern. When love is no longer there, you need the law, right, to put people in their place. So this is an attempt to make that law, and these are about transparency, accountability, and likewise. These are some of the events. And we award the NGO whom we see ethically they are right. And they are in every place. This is the former Prime Minister of Egypt, Abdulaziz Hijazi. One time I visited him there. He had about 400 NGOs under him. He has about maybe 600 foundations also under him. And we sat down and we talked and we said, how on earth we gonna improve the NGOs area? And you know what he told me? He said to me, if we want to improve the NGO area, we have to work on the family. So the family is a base where the human being is being manufactured or groomed or loved. And then from there, we go to the larger community where our attitude, our life, have to be a life of giving and a life of serving and connecting with each other. I hope I didn't bore you. I hope you found something useful to take. What you didn't find useful, leave it here. Take even one word I said good, take it with you. And thank you for being here. Thank you, Deborah, for bringing us here, for the invitation, for your husband. And I'm glad to see your family here. It's beautiful to grow together and to be in the same page, as you say. Thank you for your attention. I wish you all the best. And I'm here to learn with you and to grow with you tomorrow and the day after tomorrow. Have a good night.